And winter is coming.
Winter has come at last.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all that, my friends. Today, we're gonna finish our look at the Cobra Arctic Assault set. And I know the title of the episode is Arctic Televiper, but we're not gonna start with him. Nope, we're gonna start with the two regular Vipers. Because they suck! And I want to end on a high note, not a low one. So, meet the Cobra Viper, the Arctic Trooper, and the Cobra Viper Heavy Weapons Trooper. These figures were released in, you guessed it folks, 2008 with no original body parts. Yeah, the Trooper is made up from the regular 2008 Viper, but with Cobra Trooper arms. While, not counting the head, the Heavy Weapons guy is a combination of Copperhead and frickin' Roadblock. Which is really obvious from the vest he's wearing. Dude straight up stole Roadblock's clothes, man. By the way, I'm still not counting a vest as an accessory, just as part of the figure. Honestly, other than the blatant reuse of parts, the Heavy Weapons Viper isn't too bad. Except for one detail. As we've exhaustively established over this month, this set is called the Arctic Assault Squad. They are operating in the polar region. So, why in the name of Santa's jingling bells does he have his sleeves rolled up? To say nothing of his neck being exposed. Is this guy supposed to be Brock Lesnar? And while I'm at it, remember when I said there was only one detail wrong with this figure? I was lying! His upper arm joint looks awful. They look like two giant blue balls. What, did he inject synthol in them or something? Synthol, by the way, is some chemical oil crap you can inject into your own body, and it makes you look like you have big fake muscles. I'm not gonna show this here on this channel, so if you really want to see it, you can Google it, but be warned, it's ugly. Okay, let's move on to the Arctic Trooper. This guy is worse! First of all, look how thin he is. He looks positively scrawny next to the Snow Serpents and the other Viper. At least the vest looks like a good homage to the original design. By the way, both of them have the blue and grey color scheme that works for the Arctic set, but because of the blue, they look more like Cobra Troopers than Cobra Vipers to me. Sorta muddles the waters. The worst thing about the Arctic Trooper isn't actually the figure itself, no, it's the accessories in combination with the figure. He's got a rifle that's a great redesign of the original. Unfortunately, due to the way the arms and the hands are constructed, it's practically impossible for him to hold it in any way that would look at least decent. But the gun itself is fine. Stick it in the hands of a different Viper, and it's great even. The same can't be said for the next accessory. You may have noticed something is off every time I've showed you this figure. There's something missing. Something that you associate with the basic look of the Cobra Viper. It's the goggles. Oh god, these Monday to Friday goggles on this monkey fighting figure. You know how on the G.I.Joe action figure cards it says snap-on, stay-on accessories? These are the exact opposite of that! You try to pose the figure, they fall off. You try to move the figure, they fall off. You try to handle the figure in any way, they fall off. You fart in the same room as the figure, they fall off. And they will always fall to the floor and bounce under the couch. It's like a law of physics or something. Why are they an accessory anyway? Why not just have them be part of the head mold? It's not like they fit over the figure's eyes anyway. Now that I mention it, why do Vipers have those things anyway? They already have a full faceplate, so what's the use of the extra eye protection? The goggles literally do nothing. Come to think of it, why do the Snow Serpents have snow goggles? They already have built-in ones. Great, now this figure is retroactively making the original Viper and Snow Serpents worse just by having these piece of crap goggles. And you wanna know what's funny? The other Viper, the Heavy Weapons one, has slightly more stable goggles. They were put on off-center, which seems to help, but it sure looks stupid. They did the same on a different version of the Viper. The other accessories are fine. One has a backpack that's a good upgrade of the original. The other gets the Snow Serpent pack and a machine gun with a tripod, as well as a rifle and a gun. And those were the Viper toys.
They sucked!
And it's really the first time on this show that one accessory can totally ruin a figure.
My advice?
Just glue the stupid goggles on and never look back.
So now we come to the final toy of the set, and the final toy of the year here on Half the Battle.
Meet the Arctic Televiper. I don't know when this figure was released. Nobody knows. That secret has been lost to the cosmos. Perhaps a very smart person might be able to one day figure it out from all the clues in these videos.
Anyway,
this figure was released with no original body parts. His whole body is from yet another Snake Eyes figure. Man, that guy really gave his all for this set. And the head is from that year's Televiper. And this is much more like it. While all the other figures in this set look like recolored versions of the originals, this one looks unique. And he looks great. Though, judging from his facial expression, he's not too thrilled to be there.
Though, you know who he reminds me of?
What with the visor and the jacket and all? Captain Cold. It's uncanny. Anyway, there's not too much to say here. It's a really, really good and unique figure.
He's also a freaking thief! This guy raided G.I.Joe headquarters and stole all their stuff!
Let's look at the accessories to see what I mean. His gun is from Dial Tone. His computer is from Mainframe and his backpack is from Falcon. Plus, because of the body parts used, he stole his clothes from Snake Eyes.
Man, this guy may be the most badass character in the history of Cobra!
I have to give special mention to the backpack, since it's actually in 4 parts. There's the knife, but the thing also opens up, so you can remove the radio, and even that has a detachable antenna. That's some amazing detail! And none of these things go flying off, unlike those damn goggles. Though awesome as this backpack is, I do have to remind you this was originally made for a Falcon figure. Overall, yeah, the Televiper is certainly a highlight of this set. And as a bonus, you can swap his head with that of a Cobra Commander figure to get an Arctic Cobra Commander, not unlike you saw in other media.
With that, it's time to take a look at the characters, which means, once again, the file cards.
But first, I have to ask one question when it comes to these Vipers.
Why?
Why are they even in this set? What do they bring to the table? One's an ordinary trooper, the other heavy weapons.
But guess what?
They already have 2 Snow Serpents that perform that very function. So these guys are redundant, unnecessary, and redundant. Also, they appear to be rock stupid, since both of them have rolled up sleeves in their artwork. Let's just be thankful Road Pig isn't in this set. This is as good a time as any to mention the inside of the box has a quite nice picture of a cold weather base, implying the figures are standing outside of it, with rolled up sleeves. The relevant to the Arctic set bit in the Trooper's card mentions signing up for dangerous assignments like the Arctic Assault Squad is a good way to move up in Cobra, while the Heavy Weapons card claims they have armored, climate-controlled suits so they can function in extreme environments.
Climate-controlled suits, huh?
With rolled-up sleeves and an exposed neck.
No, I'm not letting that go!
The only relevant thing the Televiper card mentions is that his job is far more challenging, both on him and his equipment, in Arctic weather. The card also claims he has a grenade launcher, something the figure didn't come with. The only Televipers that did come with grenade launchers were from 2003 and 2004.
So maybe Hasbro should be a little more careful when they're copying older file cards.
And those were the Arctic Vipers and the Arctic Televiper. 2 figures that stink up the set, and 1 great addition.
I just don't get the Vipers.
Instead of these redundant troops that I remind you are redundant, just make it a 5-pack. Or hell, if you want to make it 7, how about 2 Battle Android Troopers? The Arctic Bats that we got years later would have fit perfectly here.
So now, as promised,
We'll rank all figures from this set from worst to best to see who sits on the Iron Throne this year. It should come as no surprise to you that the worst one is the Arctic Trooper Viper. Though, if I could just nominate those damn goggles, I would. Second worst is the Heavy Weapons Viper. He looks a bit better, but man, that exposed skin. Now, those were the only two bad ones.
Now we come to ranking the good figures.
At number 5, we have Arctic Scrap Iron. While it is a neat figure and great to see the character in Arctic colors, the others that are next are just cooler. At number 4, there's the Snow Serpent Trooper. A great update of the original design, but since you could get a virtually identical one carded, this seems the right place for it. So naturally, one number higher at 3 is the Heavy Weapons Snow Serpent, since at least his accessories make him a bit more unique.
Number 2 is a natural progression of that.
While the Snow Serpent Officer is still the same mold, it does have a unique color scheme and is a fresh original character to boot. So this place is well deserved.
That means we know who number 1 is, don't we?
The Arctic Televiper. Unlike all the others who look like recolors of older versions, they made this one look truly unique. He's the only one that got an entirely different outfit compared to the original. And that's why this year, the Televiper sits on the Iron Throne as best figure. But that's just for now. Who knows what the future may bring?
Well, that wraps up Half the Battle for this year.
And next week there won't be a review since it'll be January 1st. Though there will be a video looking back on this year and looking forward to the next.
All that's left for me to do is to wish you a happy end of the year. I'll see you next year, everybody. And hey, why not like, share and subscribe if that's your thing?